Hi, I wanted to give you an explanation of essential question number 3, version 4, during the summer of 2011. And this is the one that was about choice. Question number 1 is to calculate the internal rate of return of asset A, so it's that blank spot that's sitting around right there. And what you should be doing is finding the interest rate that makes the present worth of this asset 0. So the shorthand way of doing it is just going ahead and take that $39 that you're going to receive in time period 4, put it on top of the $19 that you see in time period 0, and then go ahead and take the nth root. And so this little guy lasts 4 years, and so that cap n is equal to 4. Subtract off the 1 and you should get what that interest rate is right there. The longer hand way of taking a look at it, we actually just end up solving this thing out, is to go ahead and take that minus $19 that's in time period 0 and then realize that you're getting $39 and you're getting that in time period 4 and finding the interest rate such that this thing is equal to 0. When you solve that out, you end up getting exactly the same thing, 19.7%. Now, question number 2 is about which asset would you choose when you have to provide 12 years of service with these assets. And the presumption is that you can buy one of, say, asset 1, let it burn out, get another one, let it burn out, get another one. So what you're really looking at here are a bunch of annual worth calculations. Now, how you calculate annual worth is pretty easy. You take the present worth that's already calculated for you. So, for example, we can take asset A and know that this thing has a present worth of $7.64. And then what you do is you stretch it out over the life of the asset. So we're going to say, looking for A, we know P, that's the stretching out part. Keep that 10% interest rate, and then stretch it out over the life of the asset, 4 years. Not 12, but actually how long the asset lasts. Now I've calculated these things for you. Asset A ends up having an annual worth of 2.41. The biggie, though, is asset B that has an annual worth of 3.23. So B is the one that you're really looking for on here for the answer to question 2. Question 3 is about which asset provides you with the greatest benefits when you don't have to provide service. And this is supposed to be a simple question, just is about the present worth criteria. And you just basically look for the big one, which is asset B again. It's at 8.03 present worth, and so it's bigger than everything else, and so that's the one you should take. Now, the final question, question 3, is about what you do when the minimum acceptable rate of return goes to 20%. The idea is that anything you have in this present worth calculations is just gone because it's based upon a 10% minimum acceptable rate of return, and you are stuck using all this internal rate of return criteria stuff. So the step 1 is supposed to be eliminate all assets with internal rate of return less than 20%. And so what you should spot is A, which you just calculated, is gone because it's less than 20. D, which has already been calculated for you, is also less than 20. And you're left with just assets B and C. B is the cheap one, so all you got to do is check and see if it makes sense to go up to C. In order to see if that works, you check that BC increment, which is right here. You see that the incremental internal rate of return is negative 1.57. What's important is that is less than 20. So it doesn't make sense to upgrade from B to C. So B is again your best asset, even when the internal rate of return, minimum acceptable rate of return is 20. So there's an explanation for essential question 3, version 4, during the summer of 2011.